Sunday, June 24th. I am a channel of love and an instrument of peace. World peace begins with a single prayer in the heart of a single person. Nurtured and shared, this love spreads from person to person, country to country, continent to continent. When I work towards creating the kind of world I want to live in, I open the way for others to do the same. I may not be able to avoid all conflict, but I can be a calm and loving presence even when there's a disagreement. I'm an instrument of peace and a channel through which divine love flows. I experience peace in my life, and I envision people throughout the world doing the same. I envision people throughout the world doing the same. I see us connected in heart and spirit. One by one, we spread peace throughout the world. And it's from Psalm 29, verse 11. May the Lord give strength to his people. May the Lord bless his people with peace.
Thank you for reading, and we'll take these thoughts into prayer and meditation with the Lord's Prayer, and that's in the inside of your the book also. I think is it the last page or the blue page? The blue. We're going to have our spiritual welcoming ceremony. So, John, would you like to come and just sit in the front row for now? First of all, we'd like to say we would like to welcome everyone to this beautiful and holy time as we gather to give witness to the spiritual birth of this young girl on this earthly plane of consciousness and existence. We honor and celebrate the beginning of life and indoctrination of this individual into our spiritual community. In welcoming and naming a child, we celebrate one of life's greatest miracles, the birth of a human being and the continuation of humankind. We rejoice that this little girl has been born into the concern and care not only of her parents, but also to this gathering and to this community. While a child is a demanding responsibility and often tests our patience and our understanding at times, it is also much more than that. A child brings unspeakable joy, wonder, and richness to our lives. What a pleasure it is to feel a newborn baby nestling in our arms, the smile of a toddler responding to our love, and the small outstretched arms reaching for a hug. The tiny upturned face planting a wet kiss on our cheek. Time will bring toys on the floor, walls on the lawn, a happy, healthy child playing in the yard. There will be bruises to kiss, report cards to praise, and drawings to display on refrigerator doors. There will be happy moments to celebrate, and also tears to wipe and console. A child brings the entire array of emotions into the lives of those who bring it into the world. It is our duty to realize that what we say and how we act and present the world to this child will have an impact on forming his beliefs about himself and the world. There's a phrase that says it takes more than a village. It takes a village to raise a child. It has become so familiar that it has lost some of its ability to inspire us. Nonetheless, it is true. While the task of nurturing children belongs mainly to their parents, it also belongs in part to all of us. The friends, the family, and the colleagues who have gathered here today. Unity philosophy believes that every member of a community has a responsibility and a duty to care for the other members of the community. You are representatives of a larger community in which Karina will grow up. It is through you that she will come to know her community and her world. By your support, example, and encouragement, you have a part to play in the development of this child, Karina, to her fullest potential. Today, Maria and Blake want to share in the celebration of Karina's spiritual journey and to ask you to share in this first step, her introduction to this gathering that will help guide her along her spiritual path. To everyone here, I would like to ask you, will you pledge to give Karina a hearty welcome, and will you accept the privilege and the responsibility of nurturing the freedom and the spirit of this child? Will you, as friends and family, assist Maria and Blake in the physical care as needed, and especially in the spiritual development of Karina? Will you be there when she needs it? Will you listen to her without judgment? Will you bless her always? Will you be help her in her spiritual growth and support this beautiful soul? If so, I would like everyone to respond, we will.
We will.
We acknowledge the divine presence in all that is. We invite the divine spirit, whom we call God, from which this child has come, to bless, welcome, and guide this special child, Karina, who is here with us today. Forever hold her in our arms in a loving and abundant universe. To Maria and Blake, you have brought your child Karina here to be welcomed into the circle of family and friends. What name have you chosen for her? You can say her full name.
Karina Marie Adamczyk.
Karina Marie Adamczyk. Karina is a name coming from both the Greek and the Swedish language, with the origin meaning pure, beloved, and dear one. That's an awesome name. Pure, beloved, and dear one. What an appropriate name. I guess you figured out the name, right?
That was my turn.
The village gave her that name. Oh, sweet.
And what appropriate name it is for a beautiful child who is obviously pure of heart and still very, very much aware of her spiritual connection and her spiritual nature. Children sure have come here to teach us. We have this weird sense of thing that we know, that we think that we are here to teach children, but in reality, they are here to teach us. We give the child a name in this ceremony, and by doing so, we declare that Karina is an individual, a unique and separate person with a dignity and a life of her own, but also part of her own. In giving her a name, we declare that we will respect her as herself and give her the freedom to be herself. We have a public ceremony to declare that all of us are responsible for the care and the development of all children. It is our task to give them our ideals and our hopes, but it is also our responsibility to let them travel on their own path. It is our task to give them a world of peace, a world of justice, and a world of love to grow up in. By presenting a child to this gathering, the parents acknowledge that the child is more than a private possession, but is a new being in whom we all have a responsibility, and whom we all welcome into this community. Would you like to come up? And you want me to come up here?
The shortcut.
Today we welcome you, Karina Marie Adamczyk, who was born March 19, 2009, into the spiritual community, and we honor the divine spirit within you. We offer our unconditional love and our unconditional acceptance. We welcome you here today, and we're going to welcome you with the symbol of water as an expression of new life. Water is essential to human life and existence, and represents the flow of life and the inflowing of spirit. So what we're going to do today is we're just going to put a little bit of water. And that represents the inflowing of spirit. Today we celebrate not only Karina's physical life, but also the beginning of her spiritual journey. Blake and Maria, will you care for Karina? Keep her, clothe her, support her, shelter her, and protect her for as long as she needs you to the best that you can. Will you try to show Karina by example how to live a true and good life? Will you surround Karina with affection and love? Will you encourage and support her as she grows up, helping her especially in times of trouble, and making sure that no harm can come to her? Will you teach Karina by example to live the Christ ideals so that they may cultivate the fruits of spirit within herself? Will you do this allowing her to find and express her own relationship with God, the divine spirit within us all? To Maria, we would like to say, since Karina has been born and is here with us today, all the angels in God have blessed you in a most very, very special way. You hold her with your love, in grace and trust, and in the trust of God's great gift of life. You have connected her to the earth through your body, and connected her to spirit through your love. May you dry her tears with tenderness, pick her up when she falls, and point her in the direction of her dreams. You hold the image for her future, the gift of the present, and the history of all the mothers that have come from the past before you bring her to this moment today. You are her mommy, and so it is. And to Blake, the God of all universe blesses you as the life of Karina blesses you. May you fill your home with loving care and stability. Nurture her with values and assure her trust. Teach her to dream, encourage her to reach for her goals, and comfort her if she misses the mark. You are her coach, you are her teacher, you are her healer, and you are her safe place, because you're her daddy, and so it is. To Karina, we send you this blessing, to always have confidence in yourself, to maintain a very strong sense of purpose. Never fear the possibility of failing, always work toward your goals. Above all, know who you are. You are the divine spirit, the spirit of God. Love yourself and find the beauty of happiness you seek in this world within yourself and within the spirit of God. Know that you are a beautiful, beautiful spiritual being, created in the likeness and the image of God. Celebrate each day in light and love. You are a beautiful, powerful, created being. Stay connected with that power of divinity, and we send you blessings for a lifetime filled with love, happiness, health, and prosperity. We send you all of our love, and so it is. And can we give our blessing? We bless you. We honor you. We worship you. We behold the Christ within you. Let us all pray. Dear God, we thank you for this gift, this beautiful soul of Karina. We ask your guidance and wisdom in raising the children that we know to our full potential. We ask your abundance to be able to provide all these things necessary to sustain her physically, mentally, and spiritually. Most of all, dear God, we ask your guidance and protection, power and love to fill Karina and sustain her in all her days of her life, so that she may live a lifetime filled with happiness, love, health, and prosperity. Amen. We give thanks for the gift of all children. We can, by example and encouragement, help them to find the love, courage, and wisdom in all our midst. We will learn from them as they experience life, and we shall welcome the day that they will take their place among us, challenging us and offering us new companionship. We thank all those present and give blessings to all those who have vowed to help support this child in her spiritual community. It is with great pleasure that I announce the new member of our spiritual community, sent in love, this beautiful spiritual being, Karina Marie Adamchen. And she'll also be getting a charm and a certificate.
Yay, Karina. Welcome.
I gotta put Crystal in charge of the music today. So she chose the praising prayer for our words, and I think that was awesome because it's about words. It's about our words praising. And as we praise, we raise everybody up and we bless them. If you remember, the beginning of the Bible says, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. And we talk about the power of our thoughts and the power of our words. And sometimes I really question, and myself too, is how do we really realize the power of our words? I want to show you my little buddy here that I got. I like to use visuals in teaching. This is my little buddy, and say hi, everybody. This is Pete the repeat parrot. Pete, I love you. We went to a toy store. We went to a toy store after I had taken Crystal and Aaron out, and we went to a toy store afterwards, and this was standing right in the thing when you walk in, and of course it repeated everything that people said, and it was pretty awesome. And I went home, and as I was going home, I'm thinking, I should have got that, because you know what? How powerful would that be to have Pete sitting there in your home,
Oh, yeah.
repeating every word that you say. And actually, I had taken this to work to get the batteries in it and stuff like that, and we thought it would be a good idea to kind of turn it on and not let anybody know it was there, so that when as people came in, we heard the words that they were saying. And it was quite interesting, because we didn't really like sometimes the words that were repeated back to us. However, we realized those were our own words. And sometimes that's really powerful, to hear our own words repeated back to us. There's a wonderful, wonderful poem that is written called Children Learn What They Live. If children live with criticism, they learn to condemn. If children live with hostility, they learn to fight. If children live with ridicule, they learn to be shy. If children live with shame, they learn to feel guilty. If children live with encouragement, they learn confidence. If children live with tolerance, they learn to be patient. If children live with praise, they learn to appreciate. If children live with acceptance, they learn to love. If children live with approval, they learn to like themselves. If children live with honesty, they learn truthfulness. If children live with security, they learn to have faith in themselves and others. If children live with friendliness, they learn that the world is a nice place in which to live. And how do they learn that? Through our words. Through our words and our actions. Our thoughts, which create our words and our actions. There was a study, and I don't have it, I was trying to look it up again, and I know I read it, and I couldn't find the statistics, but I know that there was a study done where they had students go into a home, and they used those clicker counters, and they were supposed to be as inconspicuous as they could be, having a student in your home, but they monitored the conversations in the house. And any conversation that was empowering, they would click on one side. Any conversation or words that were disempowering, they would click on the other. And it was amazing that after they came back and they averaged them all up, 70% of the words and the phrases that were used in the houses were disempowering. And that, to me, is very scary. And yet, when I think about my repeat parrot, I don't know if I want that with me all the time, because doing this and getting back into a lot of different study and everything, I'm realizing how quickly it is to let words fly out of our mouth. When we're not, especially when we're not at the right place. And we're on a spiritual path, and we're going to have those times. And our mission, our goal, though, is to raise ourselves up so that we're aware. Awareness is the key to any kind of change, is being aware. There's a thing that as far as repeating things all the time, we think about how we do this. Think about how you do that unconsciously, or how we say negative things unconsciously. Because no word, and we talked about A Course in Miracles, Phyllis and I talked about A Course in Miracles when she came in. It says, no thought or word is idle. No thought or word really is neutral, because everything is creating. You're either creating truth, or creating truth, or making the illusion worse. Basically the illusion of lack, hostility, fear, that type of thing, the illusion of fear. But so every word that we say, is either empowering or disempowering. So, how many of our words are empowering and disempowering, and how do we do that? Think about on a daily basis, and we talked about how we present sometimes our illnesses and the things that are happening in our life. And how many times we tell different people about what's going on. And then we take ownership of our stuff. We take ownership of our financial difficulties. We take ownership of our illnesses. Sometimes people say, they ask for prayers, and instead of prayers for healing or for lifting up,